Chair Santa Ana? Aye. Okay. I'm setting the clock up for you here. Go ahead.
Thank you. Madam Chair, members of the Budget Committee, Albert Einstein once said, "The only thing you absolutely have to know is the location of the library." Having given a hint as to the topic of my deputation, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mark Jeffrey Santa Ana. I'm proud to call Toronto my home for all my life, and Willowdale for about 1/3 of it. As a lifelong library user, I can attest to the words that the characters on one of my favorite TV shows growing up sang. Having fun isn't hard when you have a library card. And don't forget, Dewey Decimal System is your friend. My purpose tonight is to urge you to support the Toronto Public Library's request for $2.5 million in new funding for phase 1 of a multi-year plan to expand opening hours at branches across the city. In Toronto, libraries are much more than a place to borrow and return books for free. Our library branches are a versatile asset that serve as places to study or work, hubs enabling access to technology, and a safe after-school destination for young people to socialize, learn, and discover new interests or opportunities to be involved in their communities. And that is just to name a few. What other institution can offer under one roof story time for children, services to aid job seekers and aspiring entrepreneurs, financial literacy workshops, author talks, art exhibits, and opportunities to practice conversational English? There are so many ways that our libraries help make Toronto a more livable city. According to the Toronto Foundation, 37% of people in our city report feeling lonely at least 3 days a week. Increasing the opening hours of libraries can make an important contribution to fostering greater social connection and addressing the growing epidemic of loneliness. As TPL's recent social impact study observed, the library is a calm and shared haven in a turbulent and noisy world. I listened to the TPL budget presentation at City Hall last week and the questions posed by councillors. The primary concern I heard was that given the financial pressures we face, increasing library service seems like, to quote the Deputy Mayor, a hard sell, especially when the library has few sources of revenue other than a property tax base to offset its costs. These are valid considerations worth addressing. A 2013 study commissioned by TPL at the request of City Council found that every $1 spent on the library generated a positive economic impact of $5.63. Thus, an investment of $2.5 million would potentially result in an impact of approximately $14.1 million. Beyond the economics, however, I believe there is a more human reason why this funding would be a good use of taxpayer dollars. Our library preserves and promotes universal access to the thoughts, dreams, and passions of people throughout history, that they may inspire and inform our own. Transit, policing, and housing are all necessary to sustain life and should be well funded. But the library is one of those places that beckons us towards truth, goodness, and beauty. And these are the things that we live life for. Andrew Carnegie, the American industrialist who provided the funds to build 125 libraries in Canada and even more around the world, said that, and I quote, "A library outranks any other one thing a community can do to benefit its people. It is a never-failing spring in the desert." In a difficult economic, social, and political climate, expanded library hours can help address the problems of today while investing in the future of our city. This is why I consider Toronto Public Library's new funding request to be worthy of your support. And before I conclude, I just wanted to thank my mom and dad for surprising me by coming here in person tonight. It's my first deputation. Sitting here in the middle of the chair here. So since I have a little bit of time, I figured that I'd use that. So thank you very much. I go back into the remainder of my time.
Thank you very much. Right on time. Are there any questions from our judge? Councillor Chang.
you for the most poetic deputation that we have heard, I think. And I just was wondering, have you sent this written deputation to the library? I think they would be really appreciative of such beautiful words that capture the essence of something that they are fighting for here in our city.
I will definitely send it to them. Thank you for that encouragement.
You can copy me and